welcome to our Open to Hope Facebook Live. I'm Dr. Gloria Horsley with my daughter and co host.
Dr. Heidi Horsley. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Heidi. We're here to talk about the holidays. Can be a tough time for many people, and we're hoping we'll give you some tips and things to get through this holiday. Those who've had a loss and are wondering how they're going to cope.
Well, like you said, Mom, the holidays for so many people are fun and exciting and something to look forward to. But we also have to remember that for people that have had a loss, especially recently, the holidays can be a really, really hard and stressful time.
Absolutely. I remember a holiday when my son died, and a lot of counseling, and you too have done a lot of counseling with people who've had a loss, Heidi, with the 9/11 families. And one of the things I want to say is there are different ways to do it. I mean, you have to do your own thing. I told people, many people recommended to me that first holiday when you've had a loss to go through it, do it as close to the way you used to do it as possible because you're going to have to get the ornaments and the menorah, those things out again someday, or you're probably going to want to. And it, for some people, it's easier. Let's just do it. And for some people, not. And depends on your circumstances, right, Heidi?
Absolutely. And I think the hard part is so many of the decorations we have stories behind it. And they bring up so many memories. I mean, Scott had a Christmas bulb that had his name on it. We all did. And so unwrapping those ornaments and unwrapping, you know, the things that you have in your house, they have stories and memories attached.
I think there are some other things that are difficult if when you're moving into the holiday about how you handle it. If you do, you've decided what you're going to do now, but you may have some pressure from people to go to parties, or you might want to go with your kids to parties, or you might think about, am I going to go by myself without my spouse to the party this year? So there's some thoughts about that. What are your thoughts about that, Heidi?
I think that there's a few things that I'm thinking about. One is that if you go to a party, have a plan. Have a plan on what are you going to do if you feel sad? What are you going to do if you're overwhelmed with grief? How are you going to be able to leave? Do you have an escape plan? I don't want to say that, but I do want to say that. Do you have who's driving you? How are you going to be able to leave? You don't want to feel trapped at a party because sometimes it's a lot and you might be able to go for a little bit and then you want to leave.
I think it's important if you're going with family members that you let them know that you might want to leave a little early. That, and one of the things that helps is try going early. Sometimes when you go early, it's a lot easier to leave early than
That's
it is if you go late and then you want to leave early. So that's kind of a plan in your own mind that you might try doing that. But you maybe you'll want to take an Uber home, or maybe you'll have your own car. But you need to let
it,
people know, don't just disappear.
right.
People, when you've had a loss, people don't want you to disappear. It's very anxiety producing for everybody because they're aware of you. They're hyper aware of you and where you are because they care about you.
And I guess I would say if you're going to go with other people in the car, they might initially say, hey, we'll leave whenever you want, but I know how it works. You get there and people are having a good time, and all of a sudden you want to leave because you're feeling overwhelmed and you're not feeling well, or you're grieving, and people change their minds. And all of a sudden they don't want to leave, and you can get stuck there. So I always suggest if you can, bring in your own car.
People don't like to bring up your loved one's name. Now, if you're at a dinner or something, you might, because they think you might be uncomfortable doing that. But I love the idea of doing a toast to someone who has passed away. It kind of breaks the ice for my friends to give a toast to Phil after he died at a party. Kind of broke the ice for me. So you could ask if you've got a family member who's hosting the party, or if you're hosting the party, you can ask someone there to give a toast to your loved one. I mean, it's for me. I would have had a breakdown to do that myself. So asking somebody else to do it can be a good idea. What do you think, Heidi?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And I actually had someone that emailed me the other day that I work with because I'm in a private practice and said, I'm going to a family holiday party and I'm worried that no one will mention my brother and everyone will pretend he never died. And like you said, Mom, if you can't do the toast, if you can't mention them, ask other people, hey, in advance, hey, do you mind giving a toast in honor of my husband, in honor of my brother, whoever it is that died?
Right.
And set it up in advance because there's nothing more irritating than going to an event and nobody mentioned Scott's name, especially early on, and everybody acted as if I was somehow going to forget or they were going to upset me. When what was more upsetting than that is people acting as if he never lived. I needed people to acknowledge that he was not there, that we missed him, and that we wished he was here.
Now, if you're going to a big event, like, some sing-along for the holiday or something where there are gonna be a lot of people there,
Yeah.
maybe even hundreds for some of the things that go on, you might want to do a little ceremony before you leave the house, especially if you're going with a family. You might want to maybe have a family private toast to your loved one before you go. And we like to have a rose on the table in a certain place, or you could put a ornament there, a candle, or whatever to kind of have that memory. I think that can be helpful too. And saying their name, I think, is an important thing during holidays, finding times to say their name.
Well, one of the biggest questions we get is how can we remember the person that died during the holiday? How do we incorporate them into our holiday rituals? And like you said, Mom, there's many ways to do that. You can say their name, you can do a toast, you can create a wreath. I loved this with all of Scott's favorite things on it. Like he loved Twix candy bars. He was a New York Jets fan. You can put a candy bar on there. You can put a New York Jets logo on that. You can put Big Red Gum, which he ate. You can incorporate their favorite things on a holiday wreath, which is kind of a fun way to remember them.
And it might sneak up on you this year. Maybe the first year you're a little numb. The second year you're sometimes it's more difficult because you're actually doing better. And when you start coming out of it, you're more in touch with your emotions. So you might find yourself being a little surprise yourself, maybe even second or third year, you might be a little more emotional than you thought. And I think it's important to tell people, I'm feeling emotional. If I leave the dinner table or if I leave the party and go out for a few minutes, I'll be back. I just need a moment. So, and you can even leave a table or what. This is a time for a hall pass, as they call it
Mm-hmm.
at school. Give yourself a hall pass. It's your time to be able to come and go as you need, but tell people because it'll be much, much less complicated for you, don't you think?
Well, yes, and sometimes we don't know when we're going to get triggered in our grief. We don't know when we're going to react with our grief. We don't know until it happens. So if you tell people in advance, hey, I might leave, I'm not sure when, because I don't know how different things are going to hit me, but I just want you to know that it's not about you. It's not about this event. It's about me thinking about the person that died and I miss them.
Yeah. Christmas cards, Hanukkah cards, or any kind of a holiday card, or let's talk about those and presents because that's an issue for people. I haven't sent any cards since my husband passed away 5 years ago, and I feel fine about it. I mean, I'm just not feeling it. I'll send people a little response, maybe an email to good friends who get it, but that's me. What are your thoughts about it, Heidi?
I think that it's very individual whether or not you send cards. The hard part is this: if you're in a family and one person doesn't want to send a card but other ones do, that becomes more difficult. Sometimes we have to then figure out, okay, how are we going to negotiate this situation? How are we going to meet somewhere in the middle? What are we going to do if someone wants to send a card and somebody doesn't? Especially, I'm thinking of a sibling loss or a child loss. Maybe when the father wants to send a card and the mother doesn't. So then what happens? How do we navigate that situation?
As I recall, after Scott's death, we sent a picture of you and the girls, you three girls
Mm-hmm.
that we
Mm-hmm.
had taken. Yeah. So it just depends on what you feel like. as far as it's kind of, we're getting late into the shopping, but I always say, um, don't expect yourself to go out with everybody and do all the shopping you did. If you've got kids, ask a friend to take, or a family member to take the kids out shopping. Maybe you don't feel like going to Santa Claus this year. Ask somebody else to help you. The
Hmm.
gift you can give the people you love this year is letting them help you.
I like that. And one of my friends, Allie Sims Franklin, Darcy Sims' daughter, she, their family, after her brother died, what they did was every year they go and shop for somebody that age and they donate the toys.
Mhm,
I also wanted to say something about the cards, Mom, the holiday cards. Some people don't want to include the person that died, and some people still want to.
mhm,
And just say, you know what, they're no longer here, but they're in our hearts forever.
mhm,
So, there's not a right or wrong way to do these things.
mhm. And as far as presents go, this is a year again, give yourself a hall pass. Maybe you give some of the kids money this year or family members or whatever. You don't do the shopping.
That's that's fine if your kids are older. But if I'm 5 years old and I'm getting money, that's going to be pretty confusing because why wouldn't Santa visit me?
Right.
I
That
mean, I know I had a sibling die or a parent die, but I haven't been a bad child. We have these mythical things,
Yep.
about Santa.
And
So,
sometimes I'll have to say you just have to buck it up as a parent if you've got little kids and you
mm,
have to go do it. But get a helping hand. Have
yeah,
people
I like
watch
that idea.
you. Don't if don't invite people over and cook the dinner this year. Let them do it. Do takeout, whatever helps you. I think you've got to be able to say no
Well,
this year and yes to
I
yourself.
I like this, Mom. I'm thinking about the idea of I have just had a death in the family and now I have to wrap all these gifts for my children. If someone says, "Do you need help?" I would say, "Hey, yeah, can you come over and wrap all my gifts?"
Yeah.
you know, like you said, give people directives. They want to help.
People are looking for opportunities to help
Or
this
come
year.
over and decorate my tree for me. Come
Yep.
over and put my decorations up for me. I can't do it this year. It's too hard.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
Or
Absolutely.
invite a whole bunch of people over and have a tree decorating party.
Mhm. If you're up to that, for sure.
Well, that's the other thing, if you're up for it. If it feels like too much energy to decorate your own tree and to get the holiday decorations out, but you feel like you need to because you have other children in the house.
But I know even though, as you say, Heidi, you really do need to try to step it up if you have young kids and any age kids, particularly, if they're in your home, because you want them to know that they're as important as the person who died.
Right. I agree because the holidays are important to a lot of people. And it's hard if all of a sudden you're in a grieving family and now it's the holidays and we're grieving and we don't get to have any holiday celebrations. That's difficult. The other thing is we can create new rituals and new things
Mhm.
so that we don't feel like we have to do the same things.
Absolutely. You will lose some friends in the grieving process, and you will find new friends that are good grief support. Some people may not be, and as the years go on, you may welcome them back in your life, but some people may not be the kind of people that are going to give you what you need this year. I know it may be a tough one for you, but you'll get through it. It's one day. Remember that the lead up to it is worse than the actual event. So take care of yourself and please visit us at Open to Hope.